Here's a selection of opals from Seda Gems. Most of the opals that you see here are from Australia. There's a couple of opals that are from international locations that we'll go through. So just quickly, if we have a look at all of these stones, we've got an opal boulder, an opal doublet up in the corner. We've got some solid opal, solid black opal, crystal opal, and white opal. We'll go through those. Down here we've got the Boulder opals, and then these last three are the international opals. So let's start off and have a look at the opal doublet. Opal doublets are natural pieces of opal that have been sliced very, very thinly and then glued onto a piece of ironstone or black potch, sometimes even plastic, just to give it some strength. So if you turn these on the side, you can see that there's a straight line where the opal and where the backing ironstone meet and where they're glued together. So this is the only way you can tell the difference between a opal doublet and between a solid opal. Of course, you can tell the difference from the price because these are much, much cheaper than a solid opal. Opal doublets are great because you can pick up a nice big bright opal for a fraction of the price of a solid opal. A lot of the time in jewellery you'll see this type of opal used, because if they use a bezel set, you know, it's very difficult to tell if it's a natural solid opal or an opal doublet, and like I said, you get big bright colours for a fraction of the price. Next type of opal we've got here is black opal. Black opal is only found in Lightning Ridge in New South Wales in Australia. We call it black opal because if you look down the face of the stone and you ignore the play of colour, the flash of colour, then you'll see that the backing colour of it's actually quite black. There's a grading system on how black it is, whether it's very black, semi-black, and that affects the price greatly. So the darker the backing, then the more expensive the stone will be. This one's also a black opal. Really nice gemmy opal, this one. Once you get the green flash, look at that. It's stunning. And the next opal that we have, you can see the difference in appearance. This is also from Lightning Ridge. You call this a semi-black opal, so it's not black, it's semi-black. So if you look down the face of the opal and you ignore the play of colour, you can see that, you know, it is quite a grey type of material. And that grey material kind of mutes the colours a little bit that's in the opal. So if that was on a black backing, the colours would be a lot brighter. This opal is what we call crystal opal. So crystal opal, this also comes from Lightning Ridge. Crystal opal is quite transparent. You can kind of see that it lets light through. Some people also refer to this as jelly opal. This is an interesting piece. This is from Cooper Pedy, South Australia. So Cooper Pedy traditionally produces the whiter opal. And this opal is really unique. You can see the stripes. You know, this gives you an idea on how opal was formed. Kind of like a layer cake, one layer on top of another on top of another, all giving their different flashes of colour. Kind of looks a little bit like Jupiter or something. The other thing that gets produced in Cooper Pedy is these little things. It just looks like a pipe, but what it actually is, it's an opalized squid tail. So millions of years ago, Cooper Pedy and the edge of Lightning Ridge used to be a huge inland sea. So when the crustaceans would die on the edge of the sea, they'd leave a hollow. After they decay, they'd leave a hollow, and that hollow would get filled up with opal. And so out at Cooper Pedy, these little squid tails are quite common. So the name that they give them is belemnite. There is some beautiful gem quality belemnite down in some museums in Sydney. If you ever get a chance to go down there and have a look at them, they're just amazing. So you know, these are little pieces of opalized crustaceans from millions and millions of years ago. This piece of opal here, this is from another field called Mentabee. So again, it's quite a white opal, but it's got a white sandy background. So the play of colour on these is quite muted because of the white background, but they're still beautiful nonetheless. This type of opal called Endomuka Matrix. So it comes from a place called Endomuka. And on the back here we have quite a browny white sand matrix. And on top you've got a very thin layer of opal. So if you actually look down the top here, you can see there's a little bit of matrix sticking up through the opal there. So it's, you know, both of these, the matrix and the opal, are intertwined with each other. And this is Endomuka Matrix Opal. The next set of opals I want to talk about is Boulder Opal. I think it's one of my favourite opals. I think they're extremely undervalued. First two that we look at are from Junda in Queensland. A lot of Boulder Opal comes from Queensland. So what's Boulder Opal? It's got an ironstone backing. Contains a lot of ironstone. So whereas the black opals, crystal opals, they don't actually have a different material on the back. They're all opal. So in the case of a black opal, the backing is black opal. In case of a crystal opal, the backing is crystal opal. Whereas a Boulder opal has opal and ironstone mixed together. So these from Junda are quite beautiful. This one's got a really nice green swirly pattern to it. And this is another one that's been carved. So again, the opal and the Boulder matrix, the ironstone matrix, is mixed in together. So in this case, they had to take little divots out to get rid of some dirt to reach the opal. Now these opals are called Yawa nuts, and they come from another area in Queensland called Yawa. So when these come out of the ground, this is what they look like. They look like any old pebble just sitting on the ground. When they smash them open, I mean, these guys sit there with buckets and picks, and they smash hundreds of these open at a time, and you know, maybe one will contain some sort of opal inside. So you can see inside you've got the ironstone, then you've got the opal, like an opal ring running around it, and then the ironstone around the outside again. This is another Yawa nut. So see the outside? Imagine that just sitting on your driveway. And you just crack it open and you've got a beautiful piece of opal inside there. These make really unique cut stones. Yawa also produces these Yawa opals. Now they're matrix, the ironstone matrix mixed in with opal. So the opal's really in these beautiful veins inside the ironstone. So you get the nice patterns, really unique patterns, really bright colours. And the ironstone's a really nice earthy colour as well. You can get the light yellow, the dark browns. Beautiful. The last lot of opal, Boulder opal I want to look at is from Winton, also in Queensland. So this is a nice beautiful red flash opal. You can see it's got the ironstone backing. Now imagine if that opal of that size was a black opal with that red colour. You'd be looking at thousands and thousands of dollars. Whereas this, being this size with these colours, at the moment it's usually $300. Now it's only $270 because it's October and birthstone for October is opal, so we've got 10% off all of our opals for this month. Yeah, look at that, $270 and you get that beautiful stone. Like I said, highly undervalued. This is also from Winton. These are actually opalized wood fossils. So you can see the wood veins that run across there. Really nice flashes of colour, look at that red. This one's also a wood fossil. Nice and green, nice and blue. With the really cool little patterns in there. Ironstone backing. Then we have the international opals. These ones are volcanic opal coming from Ethiopia in Africa. Completely different type of formation of opal. You can see these are also transparent. but the colours that they throw off are just neon. Look at them, they're like little laser shows inside the opal. Nice roll. This is also Ethiopian. Bit of a different body colour, but look at the flash, look at the green. Really nice. And the last opal is Mexican fire opal. Why do they call it fire opal? Because it's red. So you've got this nice red body base with the play of colour. Lots of greens, lots of blues. The best Mexican fire opal will have the best red colour that you can find. So that's a quick rundown on opals. So how do you know what you're buying? How do you know if you're getting the best possible type of opal? So in the opal world, the black opal is by far the most expensive opal. On top of that, if you get black opal that has a nice red flash, what they call a red on black, that is by far the most expensive type of opal. Then you can go into different patterns. There's harlequin patterns, broad flash, different types of patterns that also, you know, are rarer than others, and they command a premium. So for example, harlequin is probably the rarest pattern, and a red on black harlequin opal is an extremely expensive stone. So when you're looking at an opal, try and get the brightest opal with the darkest base that you can find. If you're looking for a Cooper Pedy opal, get the brightest possible opal that you can get. If you're not concerned about what colour, you know, like I said, the reds are the most expensive. If you're not concerned about the colour, just get the brightest one that you can find. Bright is always better. With Boulder opal, like I said, you can't go wrong with Boulder opal. I mean, I think that one is, it's around about $30. Great price. And like I said, this one down here, less than $300, $270 at the moment. So you really can't go wrong when you buy a nice big Boulder opal, because you will definitely feel like you're getting bang for your buck. So that's it. That's all I want to talk about opals. If you've got any questions, please let us know below. And don't forget, we've got a sale on opal for the month of October because it is the birthstone. And if you have any questions, please comment them below, jump on our Facebook page, or contact us directly. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.